Johan Garpenlov, the head coach of Team Sweden, in a must-win situation. Sweden coming off back-to-back wins and getting set to take on Russia with some new faces in this Russian lineup. Dmitry Orlov will play, Vladimir Tarasenko will play. There's a look at Nygren, the defenseman who plays big-time minutes for Sweden, especially since Nils Lundqvist went down with an injury. Alexander Simonov will get the start. He has been outstanding for Russia, 1.50 goals against average. And Adam Riederborn will get the start. For Sweden.
Victor Fost on the list as the starter for Sweden. Maybe some trickery there as Riederborn takes the net again.
And again, terrific numbers for him. So coming into this game, the two netminders, Riederborn 1.28, 951, and Alexander Simonov 1.50, 935. Riederborn has the #2 save percentage, the #2 goals against average. Simonov, the #6 save percentage, and the #6 goals against average in this championship. So solid goaltending at both ends of the ice. An early icing call here against Sweden. Referees are Eric Brugman of the United States and Olivier Gouin of Boucherville, Quebec. And your linesmen are Nicolas Constantino of France and Brian Oliver of Cranston, Rhode Island.
And Vladimir Tarasenko gets his first opportunity out on the ice. Lining up on the right wing, wearing his familiar number 91.
So they get help on defense, they get help up front, that being Russia. And then Sergei Bobrovsky will come in. Not sure they need help in the net minding department, but my guess is that Bobrovsky isn't going to come over to come and sit on the bench. Freeberg plays this behind the net, sent it out front. Frodin couldn't get a stick on it. Back to the line it goes. Pilot will play it back for Frodin, poked off his stick. Here comes Grigorenko. He has Kamenev going to the net. Kamenev went high blocker side and put it over top the net. Or rather, Berdashov.
Zadorov following all the way up to the blue line. That long reach pokes that puck free for Berdashov. Riedeborn had to be sharp early.
Played back along the boards, put back to the front of the net by Slepyshev, and now a sharp angle try from the near side. And that is grabbed and held, and as Grigorenko makes his way in there, a little bit of pushing and shoving at the side of the net.
The long reach by Zadorov, and then the leading pass to Berdashov, who tries to go up over the arm. Berdashov has been dangerous in this tournament with 4 goals and 6 points.
Face off to the right of Riedeborn as Russia tries to climb back into top spot in Group A. Played back at the line. Grigorenko lets it go through some traffic. That gets blocked. Grabbed off by Marcus Sorensen. Sorensen will play it back into the corner. Dahlback sends it up for Ricard Raquel. Back for Marcus Sorensen. Down for Kempe. Adrian Kempe plays it back at the line. Dahlback the shot that got turned away, and Slepyshev is on it. Slepyshev will carry back in, puts on the brakes against the checking of Isaac Lundestrom. And now Dahlback will play it across. Sellgren on for Olofsson. Through for Hollander, and he'll bounce it in. Off the backboards, Artem Zub back in the lineup for Russia. He's missed the last couple. Hollander after, and there's Dmitry Orlov, number 7, as he gets into his first action for Russia. Shot from the left point by Tomernes and grabbed and held by Simonov.
Orlov, Stanley Cup winner in 2018 with Washington. Got a gold medal in the 2011 World Juniors and a gold medal in the 2014 World Hockey Championship for Russia. So both of their NHLers that have joined them have had a foray out on the ice.
2 Stanley Cup winners is how Valeri Bragin put it. Bragin celebrating his 65th birthday today. Zadorov will bank this off the boards. Timken gets to center no further. Rasmussen will play it back and in across the line. Oscar Lindberg will send it down in behind the Russian net. Gets blocked and right back up the ice now for Nikita Nestorov. He'll send this on for Kamenev. Kamenev plays it for Shvets-Rogovoy. And then Shvets-Rogovoy got buried into the backboard. Shot from the line by Zadorov. And Riedeborn grabs that, and now we've got another melee going on in front of the Sweden net.
Referee's going to pull a couple out of the pile. Kamenev and Shvets-Rogovoy both play for St. Petersburg. SKA St. Petersburg, that's Valeri Bragin's club team. He's the coach there. It's a shot from the point and gobbled up by Riedeborn. Shvets-Rogovoy wants to start something, and he certainly did. So Nygren and Shvets-Rogovoy will go to the penalty box. Mentioned in the opener that Russia can play any way that you want. You want to do some of the pushing and shoving and get into a physical matchup. Nikita Zadorov usually cools things off. He's been hitting everything in this tournament. Now a little bit more open ice. Tarasenko will eat that up.
Nygren may have got away with a high hit on Shvets-Rogovoy in behind the net. Now Shvets-Rogovoy was bent over. But that shoulder may have caught him up a little high. Wingerly send into the corner, played around the boards by Morozov, and he'll send it back for Tarasenko. So 4-on-4. Provorov gets to the line, he'll dump it off there. Berdashov puts on the brakes, sends it back for Tarasenko. Vladimir Tarasenko trying to work it to the front of the net. Tarasenko chases it along with Wingerly. And this will get played to near the blue line, but not out, and back for Sellgren, and he'll play it back for Klaus Dahlback. Dahlback on for Adrian Kempe. Looks to find a little bit of space and wind it up. Gets away from Voronkov. Sends it back for Ricard Raquel. Raquel will get to the line. Plays it cross ice. The pass back for Raquel. And he got locked up there with Dmitry Orlov. And Voronkov carries back up the ice. Voronkov will send it in. Riederborn will play it up the boards. Redirect by Frodin. Back for Lawrence Pilot. On it goes for Adrian Kempe, and Orlov knocked it away from him. Back for Zadorov and back for Orlov. Doesn't like what he sees. Trying to lose the checking of Frodin. Now he'll play it on Barabanov. Puts on the brakes. Barabanov drops it back for Nikita Zadorov. And that got away from Zadorov and comes all the way out to center ice. Zadorov a +8 in this championship. That is number 1 here in Riga. Centering pass, that got blocked by Olofsson. Zadorov stays on it, gets it down for Slapyshev. Slapyshev tried to play it back down low, got hooked on the play by Sorensen. Slapyshev keeps on going though, puts on the brakes. And now we're back to 5-on-5 as Zadorov will chase this back into his own end. Quickly ahead for Slapyshev as Sweden was changing. He'll drop it back. Shvets Rogovoy couldn't handle it. And Ivan Provorov will take it back for Russia. On for Gavrikov, snaps this up the middle to the blue line. No further for that play as Shvets Rogovoy again couldn't get it deep. Now it gets turned over and Hollander will send it back into the Russian zone. Rasmussen to the backboards with Gavrikov. And on it is Ivan Provorov, and he'll lift it out to center ice. Teams will start a change. Timken going in after it. Jonathan Pudas trying to tie up Evgeny Timken. And the puck in behind Riederborn. Artem Zub stepped into his man on the far side. Par Lindholm tried to step into Timken. And now Timken will head to the bench on the change. Par Lindholm sends it on for Oscar Lindberg to the front of the net, looking for Par Lindholm. Barabanov down low takes it away. Orlov got double teamed, but plays it around for Barabanov. This pass was in behind Dmitry Orlov. And it's all the way back into the Swedish zone where Magnus Nygren will start the attack. On for Wingerly. He'll drop for Freeberg. Short side try. And Simonov will make the save and hang on to it. And a little more extracurricular activity. Scoreless Russia-Sweden here in the first.
Good. Whistle, whistle. Oh, 2, 2, 2, 2. One guy. 2, 2. Oh, him. You. That's it. Just one guy. Rough.
One penalty out of that pile-up, and it is Artem Zub who will go to the penalty box for Russia.
Referees sending a message. The first time they took a guy from each team out of the pile. This time, just taking one. Trying to keep that from happening after each and every whistle near the goaltenders. Sweden has scored a power play goal in their last 4 games. Keep them alive here in the qualifying round.
Ricard Raquel took a pop on the nose from Artem Zub in front of the Russian net. This gets scooped all the way down the ice by Nikita Zadorov. Freeberg carries it back in, plays it back for Tomernes. Henrik Tomernes on for Olofsson. Olofsson back for Tomernes. He'll send it cross ice. Sorensen back for Tomernes, in for Olofsson, slap shot. And Karnukov got in front of that one.
A couple of power play goals for Olofsson as he'll make his way to the bench. They always look for him at the one-timer on the top of the circle on the right side.
Commerce leads Sweden just under 22 minutes of average ice time per game, has 5 points, which is tied for second best among defensemen scoring. And this goes off a stick and up and out of play.
Raquel, the Band-Aid after taking that cross-check in the melee in front of the net, which have Zoom in the penalty box.
So Kamenev, who has had a good tournament in the face-off department, 56% coming into this game. Vladislav Kamenev had won 42 of 65 in the face-off department. Zadorov averaging just under 24 minutes of ice time per game, leads the Russian squad in that category. Nestorov is behind him at 23-44 in the couple games that he's played. Ivan Provorov just under 24 minutes.
And they'd really like to have Raquel be a contributor as Sweden continues on here. This is their last game. It's got a power play goal. That was against the Czechs, and a power play assist earlier against the Swiss, but dried up in the last couple of games.
22 shots on goal for Rickard Rakell coming into this game. Leads Sweden in the shots on goal department. Tomernes is right in behind him. There's a chance in front. Rebound, they jam it in. Freeberg on the rebound. And a power play goal has Sweden in front 1-0.
Frodin is able to jump on this one. This looks like a couple of the goals that Sweden has scored in their last couple of wins, where it's towards the net, they have traffic in front, and they're the first to get to that rebound and loose puck. Back to the point, hard across. This is a shot in which Simonov commits going to the left, and he can't recover. Kempe with the hard pass. Drilled towards the net. Frodin uses all his balance to get towards that puck and then falling down afterwards. In front of the net, Provorov had to leave Frodin because he was looking for that rebound, and instead it goes to the guy he was just checking. And Sweden's power play helps them early in this game.
So now 6 for 20 is the power play for Sweden in his championship. And this will get sent all the way down the ice. Russia has killed 10 of 14 in the tournament. They came in as a very disciplined team, third fewest shorthanded situations. There's a shot that got blocked by Slepyshev, trying to get around Sellgren, and a save made by Riederborn.
Really good job by Sellgren there, not to take a penalty. Slepyshev knocks it ahead, skates onto it, and finally regains control to be able to get a shot, but Riederborn gets the glove up.
So Rickard Rakell, well, we saw the blood on his jersey, so he will be out of his 67 jersey, and he will wear number 66 going forward in this game for Sweden. After he took that pop from Artem Zub. Morozov will send this back down low. Tarasenko trying to get that for Berdashov. Away from him, snapped off the boards, and Nikita Nestorov back into his own end. Nestorov will play it on for Nikita Zadorov. He'll deflect it into the Swedish zone. And Magnus Nygren will go back and park in behind his own net. Nygren's long pass up the middle misses Freeberg. And Zadorov will give chase. On for Provorov. Karnukov tried a little one-time redirect for Barabanov. He'll play it through. Tolchinsky goes after it. And Nygren up the boards, but blocked by Barabanov. 3 goals and 6 points for Barabanov here in his 4th World Championship. 1-0 Sweden on a power play marker. Sellgren back into his own end. Long pass for Adrian Kempe. Tried the one time, but deep misfired. And Provorov will play it through. Shvets Rogovoy after it, puts it to the side of the net, turned away by Riederborn. And up through center for Dahlback. He'll play it on for Ricard Raquel. Raquel takes it wide. Raquel throws it back around the boards. And this will make its way all the way back where Jonathan Pudas will backtrack for Sweden. Sweden in a must-win situation. Raquel sends it around looking for Sorensen. Shvets Rogovoy is there first. Comes up with it, forced to the backhand, and he'll just flip it back to neutral ice.
Sorensen's come alive in the last 2 games. 4 points. He was moved up on a line with the Kempe brothers and was offering up some offense there.
Olofsson off the corner boards, puts it back down low, goes after it, and Dmitry Orlov is on it for Voronkov. Slepyshev will take the pass and carry in, looking for Voronkov in front. He had a stick lifted by Tomernes. And back for Sweden along with Olofsson. Olofsson against Zadorov. Zadorov gives him a bump. And the loose puck taken by Slepyshev. And he'll send it back out to center and into the Sweden zone where Voronkov jumps on it. Voronkov tried to drive that to the net on the short side. Boy, the Columbus Blue Jackets will be looking forward to when Voronkov can come over and play.
He has the strength, I think, to play over in North America and be successful. He's a guy that likes to hit first and does have some skill.
Under contract in Russia.
Nice play for him to cut right towards the net near the goal line. A lot of guys will take the easy way out and go behind the net.
Par Lindholm plays it down the ice. Simonov will play it for Zadorov. And Zadorov's pass will be an errant one and will go for icing with 7:35 to go in period number 1.
Zadorov's complaining that his stick was slashed and therefore it should be an icing. Here's Slepyshev doing the smart play to jump it ahead and then use the body position. Then he tries to go on the glove side. Sellgren, though, doesn't take the penalty. He took to the forehand at the very last moment.
Taken in by Tarasenko. Bertasov goes in after it. Being watched there by Pudas. It's up the boards. Grabbed off by Morozov. On for Ivan Provorov. Provorov walks it in. Save made Riederborn. Rebound save made Riederborn. And now Pilot will go after it.
Wingerly was without his stick. Normally he'd be able to help out with rebounds, but it got kicked down to the blue line. Sweden's going to slow things down here for a bit. Both teams are looking for those long stretch passes to separate players in the neutral zone.
Tomernes back for Pudas, and he'll send it in. Barabanov tried to clear, kept in by Adrian Kempe. Played around for Ricard Raquel. Raquel trying to work it back into the high slot, chipped away, and Barabanov will carry it back. Tolchinsky drags the back leg, and it's Artem Zub playing it across. Centered up front, Tolchinsky will chase it to the corner boards. Turns, fires towards the front of the net. Arnukov was there. Puck never did get to the front of the net, and Sweden will clear. Orlov. He'll play a back pass through for Kamenev. Kamenev with the wrist shot. That went wide, short side, glove side. Barabanov throws it back in behind the net. Centering pass goes off the skate and grabbed off by Tarasenko. Of the St. Louis Blues will play it back in the long shot by Galimov, grabbed and held by Riederborn. And we will get a stoppage and play. 1-0 Sweden on a power play goal. a must-win situation. Czech Republic in a bizarre ending in a shootout against Denmark. So the Czech Republic now with 10 points, Sweden with 9. Czech Republic does play tomorrow, so they will still need some help. Morozov will spin this back down for Lundestrom. And he'll play it off the boards for Dahlback. Dahlback leaves and Lundestrom gets to center no further. And the puck chipped off a stick and into the Russian team bench. 1-0 will step aside, Sweden with the lead. Kazakhstan is up on Norway 1-0. Dmitry Shevchenko has the goal for Kazakhstan. Pilot plays this around the boards. Slepyshev to the short side, turned away. Riederborn has lost his goal stick. Par Lindholm tried to clear, can't. Provorov to the front of the net. Riederborn, a good save on a redirect there from the captain, Slepyshev. Back at the line. And that pass did not get down low from Grigorenko, and now right back up, and Par Lindholm with the wrister. And Simonov got a piece of that with his glove. And Slepyshev will turn back. Delayed offside, Sweden will change.
Russia is not really the type of team that likes to dump and chase. They'll try to carry up as much as they can. And if they're forced to, then they'll go in and get after it. Like to make plays right near the blue line.
Nygren after it in his own end. And Nygren on for Frodin, the goal-getter in this game. Frodin will play it back for Nygren. And on for Tomernes. Tomernes comes rink wide for Frodin. Frodin going after a loose puck. Orlov got there. Sends it around for Artem Zub. Zub on for Barabanov. His pass intercepted. Freeberg trying to bust his way through. Frodin at the side of the net gets a whack at it. And a right pad save made by Simonov. And now Barabanov pitches another backhander through the middle. But this one does get to Dmitry Orlov. Dahlback sends it ahead. Zadorov was not about to let Ricard Raquel get past him. And Dahlback will circle back. Sorensen, a bit of a stick lift there on Timken. And the puck taken by Dahlback and on for Adrian Kempe and on for Raquel. Ricard Raquel battling out of the corner. Again, had blood on his jersey from an incident in front of the Russian net with Artem Zub. So he has switched from number 67 to number 66 for Sweden.
No nameplate for him, and he's certainly more engaged in this game than he has been in games past.
Budus will lift this into the Russian zone, and Gavrikov goes back for it, around for Ivan Provorov, and Provorov sends it all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing call.
These two teams met in 2019 at the World Championship. It was a 7-4 win for Russia. As you see this deflected right in front of the net where Riederborn does not have his stick. It was caught up in some forechecking earlier in the shift, and then it was knocked behind the net. He's reestablished himself there in the net.
has been a breakout tournament for Adam Reederborn, his first IIHF event. Plays in Kazan. To the side of the net it comes, and Reederborn is going to smother that and hang on to it.
Wonderful numbers in the KHL and some familiarity with the players on the other side that are shooting against him. 16, 9, and 3 with Akbar's Kazan. Kazan is in the southwest of Russia, and goals against 1.82 and a 931 save percentage. Got the shutout win against the Swiss, allowed just 1 goal against in their last win against Slovakia 3-1 for Russia, for Sweden, and now takes on Russia.
And of course, we were talking about Voronkov, and he plays for Kazan. There's a shot to the short side. Reederborn makes the save, and he will hang on to that for a face-off.
Voronkov does indeed. The 20-year-old shot towards the net from Zub. Tarasenko establishes himself, and the right pad comes out from Reederborn. Such a heady player. 16th overall for the St. Louis Blues in 2010. And in his initial season in 2013, scored his first 2 goals and his first 2 shots against Detroit. Jimmy Howard.
Some highlight reel goals from him. Jam play. Shvets Rogovoy trying to jam that home, and Reederborn down. Lundestrom lines it up out of his own zone, gets to center, sends it in. Zadorov goes after it. His pass up the boards gets intercepted, and Lundestrom will play it back into the corner into the final 2 minutes of period number 1. And Zadorov will just slow it down in his own end. Grigorenko, who had that game-winning goal in game 1 with 19 seconds left to give Russia the win over the Czech Republic. Gavrikov tees it up, wires it. Frodin went down to block it. Got by him, but missed the net. Slepyshev couldn't trap it. Provorov is on it. Tried to throw that back around for Voronkov. Comes back up the line. Gavrikov will hold the line against Frodin. Wingerly, Putis. Bit of a size mismatch there with Voronkov and Gavrikov. Intercepted and out to center ice.
End of the shift for Freeberg, who had to spend a lot of energy battling to get that puck free and then get available.
Karnukov will send it in. Reederborn plays it up the middle. Goes off a broken stick. And Orlov on for Barabanov, and he'll swing and fire it in. Reederborn puts it up on the glass for Sorensen. Sorensen couldn't get anywhere on the first try, does on the second. And it's up for Ricard Raquel. He'll float this in. Kempe goes in after it, cleared away from him. Raquel throws it to the high slot of Artem Zub. But the Ottawa Senators there to pick it off. On for Dmitry Orlov in his first game. He knifes a backhander wide. And cleared out at center. And Artem Zub will just let the first period run out.
Russia gets more of the offensive zone time and more shots, but Sweden gets the only power play and capitalizes.
13-5 the shots in favor of Russia. 1-0 Sweden. 1 period is done.
Go, down.
Nothing! Done! Hey, let's not take a penalty here. No! Hey, I got two guys going! I got two guys getting penalties. Who's three? You go and you go.
Good. Whistle. Out. Two. One guy. Two. Out. Him. You. That's it. Just one guy. Rough.
Oh, that was terrifying.
Добавить. Добавить, еще добавить.
There's your goal getter, Jesper Frodin. Came on a power play. Lindberg and Adrian Kempe with the assists. That's the only tally so far, and Sweden up 1-0.
Frodin had a 2-goal game against the Swiss. Also opened the scoring for his team in that one. Russia is looking to answer back here in this second period. Thought Russia was the better team in the first 20 minutes, but the scoreboard doesn't say that.
13 of 13 for Adam Riederborn. And a couple of dandies. Tomernes back into his own end. Nygren sends it on for Frodin. And he'll send this into the Russian zone. Jammed up by Wingerly. Turns, tries to get it deep. Frodin is after it. Not a lot of size to this line for Sweden, but they are quick. And there is some skill. Zadorov getting pressured. He'll chip it back in behind his own net. Nikita Nesterov will send this on. Shvets-Rogovoy gets to send it no further. And Yevgeny Timkin will follow up and get it into the Swedish zone. Kamenev in a battle on the far side. Kamenev was the best face-off man in that opening period, winning 3 of 4, along with Voronkov, who won 3 of 4. Nikita Zadorov played 8 minutes and 19 seconds of the opening period. So if we thought the addition of Orlov was going to take some of the minutes away from Zadorov, that hasn't happened yet. Quick laundry work for Sweden as Rickard Rakell is back to his number 67. Tied up in the corner. Grigorenko will take it in behind the Swedish net. Grigorenko faked the drop pass, takes it all the way back up top, gets it for Dmitry Orlov. Orlov tees it up, and that went off of Pudas and wide. Pudas led Sweden in ice time in that opening period at 7:02. On for Rickard Rakell, takes the bump from Orlov. And Artem Zub is back for it, and he'll swing it on for Orlov. Through at center, chipped in by Tarasenko. Dahlback gets there first, plays it around for Hollander, on for Lundestrom. Rink wide for Olofsson, he'll send a backhander in. And Simonov will play it for Nesterov. Nesterov tried to get that up for Bertasov. Ends up back in behind the Russian net. Zadorov's pass doesn't get anywhere, comes back to the line for Sellgren. Sellgren walks it in, and off the blocker or the stick of Simonov. Lundestrom trying to get it back to the line. The shots in the first period were 13-5 in favor of Russia. And Sweden with this game's only goal. Lundestrom gets it out at center. Nesterov will play it back. Henrik Tomernes breaks it up, plays it on for Hollander, and he'll send it in.
Not having much success in like they did in the first period, and getting speed through the neutral zone and being able to back the Swedish defenseman off the line.
Morozov will play this across, a Vegas draft pick. A goal and 3 points for him in this World Championship. And here comes Par Lindholm. And Par Lindholm will lift this down the ice. NHL action with Toronto, Winnipeg, and Boston. His time in Winnipeg was brief. I mentioned this earlier. Today is the anniversary of the return of the Winnipeg Jets to the National Hockey League, the 10th anniversary. Barabanov knocked off of his stick. Gavrikov on for Provorov. Karnukov will hit the line. He'll play it in, gets squeezed out there on the far side by Putis. And that allows time for Frodin to play it back to Putis. Putis will pass up, trying to spring Wingerly, and he ran into Artem Zub. Shvets Rogovoy plays it back to Dmitry Orlov. Back for Shvets Rogovoy, cuts to the middle of the ice. Wrist shot went wide. Evgeny Timkin puts this in behind the net. Tarasenko back for Zub, misfire there. And now cleared back for Dmitry Orlov.
Finally work it back to the point for a one-timer, and Zub can't get it towards the goaltender.
Icing gets waved off here as Riederborn kind of moved to make an attempt to block it, but I think he was more worried about where it was going to come off those corner boards.
Yeah, it came off the boards and hit the base of the net, and he touched it with his goal stick, and the icing was negated.
Adrian Kempe to the forehand, tried to slip that in the short side. Nesterov ties his man up. Centering pass is intercepted. Slepyshev couldn't get anywhere. Back in for Sorensen, and his shot goes off the stick of Nikita Nesterov.
Sorensen's points coming in the most recent games, as he's one of these guys that can really dig for the puck. Isn't blessed with a whole lot of natural skill when he has it, but he'll fight to get it back. For the goaltender Simonov, playing in the KHL, and Riederborn playing in the KHL. Those two goalies never faced each other in the playoffs. Most teams lost in the conference finals.
This will be kept in by Nygren, deflected in front as Hollander got a stick on that. Lundestrom trying to work it up the boards. And that gets taken away by Nikita Nesterov. Tried to find Tarasenko, but Hollander breaks it up. Sends it right back in and goes in after it. Sweden all of a sudden the quicker team here.
Oh, they certainly are. They're not giving Russia much time. They're not fooling around with the puck, making sure they get it all the way below the goal line, and they just straight line hockey to forecheck.
Tarasenko gets it onto the stick of the youngster Morozov, and a save made by Riederborn.
Morozov had a 3-point game against Denmark. Moved up along the wall. Tarasenko's going to protect. And a nice little pass slipping through to Morozov. Doesn't have the best angle, and Riederborn is able to swallow this one up.
Morozov, 21 years of age. One of the younger players on this Russian team. Voronkov, of course, is the youngest.
Yeah, those two teamed up in that game against Denmark to get a couple of goals each, or a goal each, and some points.
Barabanov. He'll drop this back at the line for Gavrikov. He'll leave. Comes back from Tolchinsky onto Barabanov, near side Provorov, and he wired that one wide. And Gavrikov on the backtrack takes it away, and Barabanov will send it back into his own end.
It's so hard for the defense, speaking about Sweden when they're in zone, when the Russian forward comes all the way out to the blue line and just pulls players out far from the net. That's when you can get it back to the net and outnumber.
This gets cleared in by Par Lindholm. Russia and Germany are the ones that got the best part of the draw. 7 games spread out the best. They played the early game on day 1 at 4:15, and they play the late game tomorrow, the last day of the preliminary round, at 8:15.
And for Russia, they had 2 days off mid-tournament with no games.
Here comes a long shot that drifts wide. Kamenev goes after it. Kamenev. He'll dump it off. Shvets Rogovoy. Circles back as Russia completes the change. Artem Zub at the line, down for Voronkov. He'll leave for Slepyshev. Slepyshev drops it back. Dmitry Orlov. Save made by Riederborn. Zub is on it. Zub leaves it for Orlov. Orlov being watched closely by Freeberg. And now Sellgren picks up the chase. Dumped off into the corner. Grigorenko. Nestorov back for Grigorenko. Plays it down for Slepyshev. Slepyshev back for Nestorov. And back for Slepyshev. Nestorov doesn't shoot it. Grigorenko will. It got blocked. Loose puck in front. Voronkov gets a second try, and he put that one over top the net.
Just stuck with it as finally Russia's getting the puck towards the net. Slepyshev twice had the puck, and as soon as he got it, he just stopped and got into passing mode. He's got to get the puck or get himself with the puck towards the net.
Voronkov being watched by Klaus Dolbach. On for Bertasov. He'll spin it back for Kamenev. Kamenev holds it wide. Down for Bertasov. Back to the line. Skipped away from Tarasenko. Bertasov lets the shot go. And another save for Adam Riederborn. So Russia cranking it up here the last couple of shifts, but it's still 1-0. Morozov comes back out. Tarasenko on his right, and Bertasov is on his left. Anton Bertasov, 4 goals in the tournament for him. A couple have come on the power play. Gavrikov plays it back down low. This gets tied up in the corner, back to the blue line, and Olofsson will tip it away. And Dmitry Orlov back into his own end. Gavrikov on for Bertasov. Cross ice, the long wrister. That got turned away as Tarasenko let it go. And Henrik Tomernes will carry it back in. Big time minutes for him on the blue line, especially after the injury to Niels Lundqvist. Sorensen trying to work it free. Adrian Kempe gets into a battle. And Provorov is after it. On for Tarasenko. And Tarasenko will lift this out to center ice. Lawrence Pilot, the former Sabre. Plays it on for Sorensen. Back for Ricard Raquel. Raquel gets forced in behind the net by Gavrikov. Carl Lindholm goes after it. Squirts to the near corner. And Sorensen stays on it. Sorensen for Raquel and back for Par Lindholm. Par Lindholm into the slot. It just got away from Ricard Raquel. He was trying to cup it and rip it in on Simonov. Pilot, pressure coming on him. Sends it on for Par Lindholm. Through for Jonathan Putis. Putis a little flip pass on for Oscar Lindberg. Near corner, Rasmussen goes after it for Par Lindholm. All the way back at the blue line for Sellgren. Plays it for Dahlback. Dahlback to the front, redirect, loose puck. Par Lindholm jams at it. And Simonov is down. And we'll get a face-off in the Russian end of the ice.
That's when Sweden's at their best. D to D and shot to the net.
1-0 Sweden.
Okay, enough. Hands down. Hands down. Use your head. Enough. Enough. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're good. We're good.
Preliminary round wraps up tomorrow. In this building, it is Switzerland against Great Britain to get going at 12:15 local. Canada will play Finland. Big game there. Finland will try to get up top by itself. And Canada still trying to secure a quarterfinal position. And then Slovakia in Czech Republic, a real good hockey rivalry, will be our second game here. Odd man rush, Timken in front for Kamenev, and the pass never got across.
Riedeborn did a good job of staying locked to that blocker side post because that puck was just slowly coming to his right foot.
Italy, USA, and then Russia and Belarus. Our last game in this building. Germany and Latvia will close it out in Riga Arena. An off day on Wednesday, and then quarterfinals go on Thursday. A bit of a knuckler from Ricard Raquel that Simonov had to fight off. Back up for Slepyshev with some speed. Slepyshev takes it to the net. Whoa! Slepyshev flies into Adam Riedeborn.
Well, he was knocked into him. Wingerly was the back checker. Slepyshev had speed coming down the right side, committed to cutting to the net. And Wingerly bowled into him and the goaltender.
So they'll get the net back on the pegs. I don't think there's going to be any penalties, although Sweden trying to convince the Canadian referee, Olivier Gouin of Boucherville, that there should be a penalty.
40 with the hit on Slepyshev, who had got around Nygren. There was nowhere else to go.
But yeah, if Wingerly doesn't give them the shoulder, he might be able to avoid the netminder. And the puck was gone by then anyway.
When you're driving wide on your forehand, you have that extra moment to shield the puck and then try to bring it to your backhand, but no opportunity to get it to the backhand for Slepyshev because of Wingerly.
No penalty.
And you can hear the referee saying exactly that. You pushed him, no penalty. Andrew Brueggemann, the American official, talking with Johan Garpenloff. Secure the net. Face off in zone.
Thomas Volkve Olsen has scored for Norway. Norway and Kazakhstan tied 1-1.
Russia coming into this game had scored first in all of their wins. But Sweden did the honors on a power play goal. Jesper Frodin.
Russia yet to get a power play in this game. There's just been the one penalty that resulted in the power play goal by Jesper Frodin. Gavrikov lets it go to the front. Nice little redirect there. The magic hands of Tarasenko, but it went wide. Cleared off, and now an odd man rush. Freeberg in across with Wingerly. Tried to slip it through the legs of Simonov back to the front of the net, and now cleared, and this will be a penalty to Russia, or did this end up in the Russian bench?
Ended up in the Russian bench. The 2-on-1 happens because of the pinch at the line from Gavrikov. Freeberg has a lane, goes to his forehand. Simonov keeps the stick down. It goes underneath him. Freeberg's going to try to bank it off the goaltender, which he does, but it doesn't bounce into the net. Tarasenko is back to clear the puck from the crease.
How does that not go in?
Yeah, we see contact with the other goaltender. Wingerly gets pushed in after he did the same at the other end of the ice.
Goaltenders have been getting roughed up.
I think there's a post-it note on both dressing room doors, drive the net.
Simonov was player of the game for Russia in 3 of the 4 games that he has played coming into this. And Zadorov will put this behind for Artem Zub. Zub fanned on his first pass, gets the second one up for Tolchinsky. Karnukov on for Barabanov, try to get it back for Tolchinsky, but Hollander breaks it up. On for Lundestrom, back for Olofsson. To the front of the net for Hollander. Couldn't get a stick on it, and right back up the ice for Barabanov. Barabanov and Pilot into the corner for a loose puck. Pilot wins the battle, gets it on for Hollander, the Pittsburgh pick. Gets it on for Lundestrom. Those two combined for an empty netter yesterday. Or the other day. Crossed the line for Ricard Raquel. And that shot went wide. Zub, long bank pass. Barabanov, they say, did get a tip on it. That negates the icing. And Jonathan Pudas doesn't like what he sees and takes it back into his own end. Long lead pass, and Marcus Sorensen did not get a stick on that. And an icing call against Sweden.
Sweden needs to win this game. If they don't make it to the quarterfinals, that'll be the first time since 1992 in the format change to quarterfinals and semis and beyond. Adrian Kempe has found some offense here for his team. 4 points. This is his 7th game.
Certainly some bumps in the road for Sweden. They lost the opener 4-3 to Denmark. First time Denmark had ever beaten Sweden in a World Championship game. Blast from the line by Nesterov, and Riederborn makes the glove save and hangs on. Then they lost 1-0 to Belarus.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to stick out if they don't move on.
That, and then being up 2-0 against the Czech Republic in Game 4. Started the 3rd period shorthanded. Czech Republic scored 2 power play goals to tie it. Added 2 more, 1 into an empty net. And a 2-0 Swedish lead going into the 3rd ended up a 4-2 loss. So Timken to the box along with Pilot.
This is again the referee reminding them, you're going to fool around after the whistle.
You guys both get penalties. Hey, take both of them. That's enough.
And that's how the referee handled it. Did the same thing back in the 1st period, taking both guys from a scrum, and then the next time he only took 1. And that was the roughing call to Artem Zub. And Sweden capitalized on that power play.
So a little more 4-on-4. Morozov and Tarasenko come out for Russia. Lindholm and Lindberg come out for Sweden. And Morozov wins another faceoff. 57% in the faceoff department for him coming into this game. Tarasenko hits the line, takes it wide on Dahlback. Tarasenko protects it, circles, plays it back at the line. Zadorov comes near side quickly for Nesterov. He spins it back down for Bertasov. And he gives way in the corner, and Selgren will send it ahead. Par Lindholm back with Nikita Nesterov. Zadorov comes in with a bump on Lindberg, and Zadorov has the puck.
Tarasenko's taking shorter shifts, getting his timing and legs underneath him.
Bertasov will drop it back. In across for Grigorenko, back for Bertasov. And back for Grigorenko, but the pass got picked off, and Wingerly ducked in between the 2 Russian players and comes out of it with the puck. Plays it on for Nygren. Nygren's pass, puck wobbled on him and ended up on the stick of Ivan Provorov. For Slepyshev. Slepyshev, 3 years with the Edmonton Oilers and the Oilers organization, and then back to the KHL for him. Gavrikov for Grigorenko. Grigorenko walks it in, looking far side, blocked away by Riederborn. Ricard Raquel sends it to center, no further. Slepyshev right back in. Slepyshev takes a look, sees where Voronkov is and gets it to him. Voronkov trying to dangle it through the legs of Nygren, decides to knock Nygren down. Voronkov backdoor Zub, and Riederborn came across, may have got a piece of it. Great play by Voronkov. Back up Orlov, through for Barabanov. Barabanov in full flight, but Tomernis gets there first. Voronkov heads to the bench. On the loose puck is Orlov. Timken comes out. Timken trying to get it to the front of the net, can't. And grabbed off by Dahlback. Back for Tomernis. And a glove save by Simonov. And he will hang on to it. The first period power play goal by Frodin stands 1-0. We talked about Russia and Germany having the best part of the schedule, the most time to play the 7 games in 12 days, the early game, the first day, the late game, the last day. Sweden's been on the other end of it. 7 games in 10 days for Sweden. They had a back-to-back Thursday, Friday, had Saturday off, and now playing Sunday, Monday.
And they started the tournament with a back-to-back on their first 2 games, which they lost.
Pudas lets the shot go. Simonov comes across and makes the save. And the loose puck is flipped out of harm's way by Slepyshev. Pudas across for Pilot. He'll send this rink wide for Olofsson. Olofsson takes a bit of a high hit there from Zadorov. Slepyshev jams it up the boards out to center. Nygren is there. And Nygren will lift it right back in. Simonov will catch it and leave it for Zadorov. Slepyshev had this go off his skate, back in for Frodin. Gets it for Freeberg, save made by Simonov. Tomernis at the line, tees it up, doesn't shoot it. Tomernis, little stutter step, now lets it go, and Voronkov blocked it. Tomernis keeps it in at the line. Lifts it deep, and after it goes Wingerly. And Zadorov, oof.
No call on that.
Zadorov with a jolt on Wingerly, who was crouched over. He had him in a very vulnerable spot. Back at the line for Tomernis. On for Adrian Kempe to the front of the net. Frodin with a chance. Puck to the far side boards, and Voronkov trying to lift it out. And
off the mask of the goaltender. All this action because of the giveaway by Slepyshev in the neutral zone. And the best chance out of all that was Freeberg. And this, to me, looks like a hit from behind. Wingerly directed into the boards by Zadorov. Adjusts the helmet. And that saucer pass lands. If that's a harder pass, there's more time here for Freeberg, but wonderfully fought off by Simonov with the blocker. And the rest of the play stayed in that end until the mask from the goaltender was knocked off.
Boy, that hit on Wingerly could have been nasty. And I mean the result, the hit was nasty.
Big size difference. Wingerly is 5'8", and Zadorov towers over him at 6'6".
Reederborn plays it on for Lawrence Pilot. Pilot will flip it up the center no further. Gavrikov will play it back to the Swedish line, and they're under 3 now to go here in the second period. And that first period power play goal by Frodin has Sweden in front 1-0.
I was thinking the same thing. The clock is working against Russia here in the second period, where Sweden has just played so well. They found some more energy coming into this second. They've been really forcing Russia to be at their best and not making it easy to come up through the middle of the ice.
You would know better, but there are players who believe in a back-to-back. The game gets easier as it gets going. It's hard to find your legs in the first period of that second game.
The back-to-backs, you like to get out there and play. You just have to be really mindful you don't get caught out on a long shift as the game goes on. Like in the third period, this one is turned aside from Simonov. That's, for me, where the back-to-back really starts to set into your legs.
Dahlback, another shot. The rebound to the far side. Selgren lets it go, and Simonov got a right pad down on that. This gets jammed up the boards by Dmitry Orlov. Out the center, Barabanov will play it in. Henrik Tomernes plays it around for Selgren. Selgren on for Hollander. Hollander turned it over just outside his own line. And Nestorov will play it back in for Slepyshev. Slepyshev takes it wide on Tomernes. Slepyshev puts on the brakes, leaves it there, shot through some traffic from Grigorenko, and that never got to the net. Slepyshev brings it right back in again for Voronkov. Got away from him, but he'll get it back to Slepyshev. Selgren wraps him up. Voronkov trying to get a stick on that. Poked away by Lindberg, and now Grigorenko on it. Tried to get it back to Zadorov, but it came out to center ice. And his clearing attempt knocked down by Lindberg, and trying to find Tomernes, but the pass was in behind him.
A couple of casual plays by Russia. Slepyshev, the shifts earlier, and then Zadorov trying to saucer it by, and it gets interrupted.
Rasmussen plays it around, but Timken is there to break it up. And Timken will start right back for Russia. He'll make his way to the line. Plays it in deep. Kamenev goes in after it. Cleared away from him. And this will get past Gavrikov, and Ivan Provorov will hustle back. CHL Defenseman of the Year. His junior days with Brandon. Provorov will drive the line. Puts this in behind the net. Svets Rogovoy going in after with a bump. Controlled at the line by Provorov. Looking for a lane. Lets it go. And Freeberg got in front of it.
Sweden's been the hungrier team for pucks along the wall. There's been a lot of board play. Finally, they are able to get it back to the point. Russia are, and Provorov's trying to get a lane. Keeps moving, but can't get it through. Barabanov was ready at the front of the net. This period about to expire, and Russia still hasn't found a way to beat Reederborn.
Shots 10-7. Sweden here in the second period. Isaac Lundestrom out to take the face-off. Lundestrom 53% coming into this game. And the second period will come to an end. So the first period power play goal stands up 1-0 Sweden after 40.
Score of the second period. Team ROC 0, Team Sweden 1. Shots on goal. Second period. Team Sweden 10, Team ROC 7.
Rezultāts pēc otrās trešdaļas. ROC komanda 0.
Introducing the 2021 IIHF app. Players.
That's good, that's fine! Okay, enough! Heads down, heads down! Use your head, enough, enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, we're good, we're good. No, no, no! No, no, he pushed him! Hey, hey, that's an accident! Use your head, he pushed him, no penalty. Hey, that's the demon's fault, boys. Your guy wants to start the entire problem here, and then... You know what? You guys both get penalties. Hey, take both of them. That's enough. 37-20. Let's go.
The moment we've all been waiting for. The games we have always wanted are finally here.
Marta. Mario.
Well, plenty on the line as we get set to start period number 3. Some numbers from the second period. Henrik Tommen has played just under 9 minutes, so he's 16 and a half over 2 periods of play. Max Freeberg has 4 shots on goal to lead Sweden in that department. Ivan Morozov has won 6 of 9 faceoffs, as has Vladislav Kamenev. So Russia's been the better team in the faceoff department. And Nikita Zadorov, 16 minutes and 9 seconds. And in his debut, Vladimir Tarasenko has 3 shots on goal.
Tarasenko's average shift length is about 35 seconds. Smart for him getting into the lineup to not stay out too long, not be too extended.
NHL shifts.
Yeah. Sweden can't back off. They've got to continue to forecheck, continue to go after Russia.
Wingerly snaps this around the boards on the backhand, and it's out. Shvets Rogovoy will get it to center no further, and Wingerly will carry it right back in. A regulation win by Sweden, and they jump into 4th spot. Tied with everyone else as far as the points are concerned. Russia 12, Switzerland 12, Slovakia 12, and Sweden would have 12.
This is going to be too many men on the ice for Russia. You're not considered on the ice. Slepyshev was playing the puck from the bench. And so the player that was changing, as it's moved up the wall, it's a real tight call, but it's...
He's sitting on the bench. No, you're sitting on the bench.
You're not allowed to play it from the bench. That's the penalty, and Sweden will get the power play.
Now, this is Sweden's last game of the preliminary round, so everyone will play tomorrow. Czech Republic is 2 points back of Sweden, and the Czech Republic does play tomorrow against Slovakia. So Sweden to the power play. Olofsson in a big pop penalty kill here for Russia to try and stay within 1. Olofsson, Tomernes, Sorensen walks it in, ripped it, and that goes off a body in front and wide. Olofsson plays it back down in behind for Parlinholm. And he gets wrapped up in behind the net with Gavrikov. Provorov goes after it. Barabanov is there as well. Cleared up the boards, and Provorov gets a hook into Sorensen, but nothing out of that fracas. Olofsson plays it back up top. Tomernes walks it in. Wrist shot off the blocker of Simonov. And now the net is off the peg.
The official call, to give some more explanation to it for Slepyshev, is interference. He played the puck while his feet were still not on the ice, still from the bench, the stick over the boards. So that is considered interference. Once his skate hits the ice, then he can play the puck. It's a bit of an unknown rule at times for some of these players, but that skate has to be on the ice for him to be considered on the ice and being able to get in the play, i.e. play the puck. So they'll reinsert the peg. There's the birthday man, Valeri Bragin. first-time head coach at the World Championship level. Did the World Juniors for 9 years. Had a medal every year but one. Bunch of silvers in there. 1 gold in 2011.
Welcoming some new faces into the lineup for Russia, and Dmitry Orlov and Vladimir Tarasenko. Shvets Rogovoy muscles this one out to center ice.
He's a good penalty killer, Shvets Rogovoy. Doesn't try to do too much. Has a shorthanded marker that he got in the opening game against the Czech Republic for Russia.
Czech Republic does have the tiebreaker against Sweden if it comes to that. That was the game that Sweden had the 2-0 lead, took a penalty right at the end of the second, and then the Czech Republic went to work with the man advantage. Nygren at the line, gets it on for Ricard Raquel, wires it to the short side. Simonov to save, rebound. Ricard Raquel had it, and he just slipped it wide, blocker side.
That first shot went right off the mask of the goaltender. He had to readjust, and Raquel pushes it far side.
Raquel walks it in again, gets it down to the goal line. He'll get it back. Cross ice it goes. Nygren back for Raquel and back for Nygren. Lets it go. That hit a body in front. Friendly fires. That hit Frodin. And Frodin slow to get his way back to the Swedish bench as he took the Nygren blast.
Zadorov helps that puck into his goaltender. Raquel with a great look. Gets it from Nygren. Finds a lane, and there's the rebound coming to him that he puts wide. Kamenev goes down to try to block this. Simonov had kicked it out, and there was room up over the right arm.
Comrade is back into his own end. Power play is now over. And Russia back at full strength, but down by 1. Artem Zub on for Morozov. He'll play it back into his own end. The long lead pass, there's a misfire. And this will be an icing call against Russia.
The only power play in this third period has gone to Sweden. They also had one in the first period. Up the inside of the left knee of Frodin, which put him in some considerable pain. Russia hasn't had a power play yet in this hockey game. And credit Sweden, they've been outworking them, I think, to most pucks. Haven't been denied.
Only 9 goals against for Russia in this championship. Only USA has fewer at 6. Shutout win for USA earlier today. Pass up the middle. Here comes Par Lindholm. He'll hit the line. Lindholm finds a little bit of room around Artem Zub. Plays it back at the line. It comes near side. Sellgren walks it in. And Simonov takes it up high off the right shoulder and hangs on to it.
No rebound there. Sellgren takes what's given to him. Russia overcommits on the back check. Everyone's got eyes on Lindholm going around the net. He draws all the attention. And it's shifted over to Sellgren. A smart play for the goaltender to get that glove up there, so if it pops off the shoulder, he can catch it, and it sticks into the equipment.
Kazakhstan sitting in 3rd spot in Group B, now down 2-1 to Norway. Ken-Andre Olum has the go-ahead goal for Norway in that game. Here it's a first period power play marker from Frodin that stands as the only tally. Adrian Kempe trying to jam this around Provorov, but Provorov comes up with it, and the pass just a little beyond the reach of Tolchinsky. Back up at center, Provorov stops Ricard Raquel, and Adrian Kempe will lift the backhander down the ice. Back up through center for Provorov. Riederborn will block this in behind his own net.
Gave it away.
Russia in on the attack. Don't know if we've seen Mario Kempe in this game. He is dressed. There's a shot to the front of the net. That got turned aside. And there's Voronkov in a battle. and lifted all the way down the ice, and this will go for icing against Sweden.
Kempe had 2 goals against Great Britain to give the win to Sweden in that 4-1 victory. And in the games previous, had been playing with his brother Adrian, and they moved Sorensen onto that line. But Adrian Kempe has not gotten a regular shift at all in this game.
Ricard Raquel has been on that line in this game. Back at the line, Orlov will send it cross ice. Tarasenko will take it. Plays it down for Artem Zub. Zub in a battle. Morozov pokes it down low, goes after it. On for Barabanov. Barabanov works it off the corner boards. Barabanov puts on the brakes against the checking of Freebird. Puda's trying to play it out to center ice. Frodin back out there after blocking that shot on his last shift. And Artem Zub will chase this down into his own end.
That's an adjustment for Russia, putting Barabanov together with Tarasenko.
This will be icing. Russia in need of a tally to try and tie this game up. Not the offensive machine that we saw in the 2019 World Championship for Russia.
Yeah, they lit it up. 43 goals, second most amongst all teams. Bronze medal win against the Czech Republic. Went to a shootout. Kovalchuk, Kucherov, and Gusev, and Vasilevsky was in net, made just some wonderful stops. Vasilevsky, obviously still busy.
Yep. Sergei Bobrovsky is here. And we'll see what Russia does tomorrow night when it plays Belarus. And Bobrovsky might not be eligible till the quarters. Yevgeny Timkin, we're not exactly sure when he arrived, whether it was Monday or whether it was Tuesday.
Strangely for Sweden, they haven't used all their forward spots. They still have an open roster spot. But I believe they're not going to add to it.
This gets dumped in by Provorov. Karnukov plays it behind the net, trying to get it in front for Voronkov. He got spilled, or rather for Berdashov, he got spilled. And Gavrikov will chase this back into his own zone. On for Ivan Provorov. Provorov tried to chip it off the glass par. Lindholm knocked it down. Lindholm spins it back into the corner, goes after it with Gavrikov. Lindholm waiting for it in the slot was Rasmussen, but it never did get to him. Here comes Tolchinsky trying to cut his way around Pudas. Pudas stays with him, ties him up, and then gets some help there from Par Lindholm. And it gets bounced back out the center, and Nestorov is after it. On for Voronkov. He'll send it for Grigorenko, and he'll send it in. Adrian Kempe trying to clear. Kempe will skate this out with Slepyshev in pursuit. Shot to the short side, blocked away by Simonov. And now a penalty coming. And it's going to be a high sticking penalty to Nestorov. And Sweden will go back to the power play. 1-0 Sweden here in the third. Third power play of the game for Sweden. As Nesterov to the box for high sticking as he gets his stick wrapped around the neck of Adrian Kempe. Ricard Raquel dishes it back. Nygren the blast blocked. Grabbed off on the far side. Kempe, Nygren, Raquel back for Nygren. That last shot may have found pipe. Back in for Raquel. Raquel to the far side. Right pad save made by Simonov. Kept in by Adrian Kempe. Back for Nygren. Nygren, the shot deflected in front. Lindbergh got a shot on that may have ticked off the glove of Simonov and wide. Adrian Kempe wrapped up on the far side. Down he goes. And Kamenev will jam it out, and then Kamenev gets taken down. Ricard Raquel plays it back around the boards. Karnukov, good stick lift there, and Provorov will lift this out to center ice. And now into the back half of the power play for Sweden. Sent around the boards. Gavrikov will redirect, but Sorensen has it. He'll try to get it back to the blue line, can't. That gets tied up on the far side boards. Marcus Sorensen gets a little bit of help there. Comes back at the line for Tomernes. Olofsson. And cross ice for Sorensen. Back it comes. Tomernes for Olofsson. And back for the captain. Cross ice now to Sorensen. Winds up, tees it up. And another good save by Simonov.
That top triangle of players, the trio, are able to work it around Barabanov, who's kind of getting lost on the penalty kill in the middle.
Tomernes the blast. Kardukov went down to block it. Comes off the backboards. Olofsson. Watched by Barabanov. Olofsson tees it up, looking for that short side again. Misses the net. 3 shots on that power play for Sweden, but Nesterov is out of the box, and Russia has killed 2 of 3 in this game, and it stays a 1-goal game as we near the midway mark of this third period.
Russia's got to wonder what it takes to get a power play for themselves.
Raquel waits for it as it comes around the boards. We'll just lift this into the Russian zone. Zub quickly out at center ice. Kamenev takes the pass. Kamenev turns in for Shvets Rogovoy. He'll play it back at the line. Artem Zub's blast blocked by Wingerly. Shvets Rogovoy plays it down low. Backdoor play, never got across. Rebound for Kamenev. Berdashov took a jam at it on the short side, and Sweden will lift it out.
Kamenev had 2 opportunities to shoot the puck, and each time he took another step and then got into passing mode, put it to the front of the net, bodies everywhere, and Riedeborn doesn't have to make a stop again.
Taken by Lundestrom. On for Putis. Olofsson will redirect this in. Off the backboard, Simonov snaps it up on the glass. And now taken by Nikita Zadorov with Lundestrom after him. Voronkov jams it ahead for Slepyshev. Slepyshev got surrounded by Swedish jerseys.
A couple of times in this game where Slepyshev just gets caught in the neutral zone, trying to do too much for the puck, turns it over. Russia's going to slow it down, but they've only got 1 shot in this third period. Now they do play tomorrow, and they are not in danger of, missing the quarterfinals. This isn't encouraging for them.
Ricard Raquel puts this in behind the Russian net. Provorov breaks it up. Nygren for Sweden will put it back into the far corner. Gavrikov on for Barabanov, and he'll just get it out the center. Sweden has been the more desperate team. They need to win. Long shot in. Simonov takes it off the shoulder, bats it to the corner. And Provorov will play it out at center.
You mentioned and asked earlier about on back-to-backs, when does it start to set in? And it's around this time in the third period where there's not a lot of whistles. Sweden's still working hard, but maybe fatigue draws a penalty for Russia in this game, or they end up spending more time in their own zone than they'd rather like.
Berdashov will dump it in. Riedeborn comes out and blocks it. Now play gets stopped.
So here's the situation. Bit of a longer shift. As we see the Kamenev feed to the front of the net. The defensive play by Pudas. Better defenseman who's on the ice than standing up, it seemed, on that one. And the deflection in front. Changes directions twice and then misses the net.
Czech Republic plays Slovakia tomorrow. Looking at it from a Sweden standpoint. Redirect back by Grigorenko comes out at center ice, and Dmitry Orlov now will carry it in. Orlov, nice move, goes backside, Slepyshev scores! Dmitry Orlov with a terrific move. Creates an odd man rush down low, and it's Slepyshev tapped this in, and did this go off a Swedish defender?
I think Slepyshev found a way to get his stick on it or something off of his body going to that far post. Sweden thought they were clear of things. Puck is stripped from Wingerly, and an individual skill move there around Pudas towards the net. Slepyshev, it's off his stick, and he's still trying to give it more momentum, but he didn't need to. It continues in. Now it goes off. It looks like the heel of his skate. But there's no way it was a kicking motion, as the blade was almost in a stopping motion for him. And that icing call, the giveaway in the neutral zone, costly against Sweden. 1-1 here.
Well, you talked about perhaps fatigue setting in on Sweden. 4 games in 5 days. Up the middle it goes. Tarasenko, the rebound. Barabanov scores. Alexander Barabanov with his 4th of the tournament. Will Sweden take a look at this for a possible offside?
2 goals in 12 seconds. Off the face-off, collected. Barabanov to the middle. Look at this pass. And then the rebound is gathered up as Barabanov comes in, sweeps to his right and puts it underneath the outstretched pads of the goaltender. So Bragan makes that change to his lines, puts Barabanov on a line with Tarasenko. And that is a turnaround in play in a few seconds.
Nesterov with that pass up the middle. Close at the line, but Sweden does not challenge. It was perfect. Save made by Riederborn, and Barabanov there for his 4th goal and his 7th point of this championship. And now, just like that, Russia with the lead.
When you hear coaches talk about the little things, and it can mean a lot, but the little thing would be make it to the center ice line to get it in. And then when you're back in your own zone for a face-off, the other little thing would be make sure when you get control of the neutral zone, you get it deeper. Neither of those things happen, and Russia counters.
It has been the little things that have really plagued Sweden in this World Championship. 2 goals in 12 seconds. Go back to the Czech Republic game where they had the 2-0 lead and then ran themselves into penalty trouble. Turned over, and Frodin gets it to the front of the net. Simonov jams it away. Slepyshev. And he'll jam this out at center.
I mean, the complexion of this game has completely changed. Sweden was in control. They were kind of continuing to get the puck up ice. And then 2 plays that seemed inconsequential at the time. And now Sweden's going to have to find another gear.
Adrian Kempe has it poked away from him. Slepyshev at 12:34. Barabanov at 12:46. The scoring plays. And Russia with a 2-1 lead. And now some real desperation here for Sweden. Sweden needs to win. Pudas let the shot go. It comes around the board. Sellgren will play it back in behind the net. Tarasenko goes after it. So Orlov and Tarasenko instrumental in both goals in their first game here with Russia. Orlov on the big play on the Slepyshev marker. Tarasenko on the Barabanov goal. Back up at center and across the line. Wrist shot, score! Olofsson from the high slot right off the bench with speed, and Sweden has tied this game up 2-2.
Olofsson can certainly shoot the puck. With speed, as you mentioned, cuts into the middle and just too lax. Barabanov and Nesterov were involved in the Russian goal, and now they're on the ice for this goal against. What a shot this was. Past the glove of Simonov. Just a lane for him to come into. Tied score.
Sellgren the pass on to Olofsson, and he darts his way into the Russian zone and snaps it past Simonov. Tomernes will send this down the ice. 4.5 left in regulation. Will we have back-to-back extra time games here in this building today?
Here's the ref's point of view on the Olofsson goal. That's pretty.
Just wires it. Olofsson, 20 goals in his rookie season in 1920. 13 this past season in 56 games played with Buffalo.
19 helpers as well, which led the Buffalo Sabres for 32 points in those 56 games.
Sent back down low by Gavrikov, centered. Provorov and Ricard Raquel comes diving in, and now the veteran Tomernes and the youngster Voronkov mix it up in front. 2-2 here in the third. .408 on the clock in what has been a wild third period. Power play goal by Jesper Frodin in the first had Sweden up 1-0, and that's the way it stayed until the 12:34 mark of the third, when Slepyshev tied it up. 12 seconds later, Barabanov gave Russia the lead, and then at 15:17, Olofsson from Sellgren, and we are all tied up 2-2.
2 minutes and 31 seconds after Russia took the air out of this building for Sweden, they fill their lungs and get a tying mark. Nice goal for Olofsson. Goals in back-to-back games for him.
So it may come down, depending on what happens, to Slovakia and the Czech Republic tomorrow for Sweden to find out. But there's still some things that need to be accomplished here. Icing waved off. Barabanov almost got clipped at center ice. Up at center for Putis. He'll send it through for Adrian Kempe. Kempe wide. Puts on the brakes against Nesterov. Plays it back for Nygren. Nygren's shot goes wide around for Tomernes. Tomarnis jumps in from the line, takes it to the net for Kempe. And Simonov, a brilliant save to keep this game tied.
Sorensen at the net, bothering the goaltender, but he's able to find it afterwards.
3 minutes on the clock. Buckle in. We're back to finish this off. It was a real good day for Canada, and Canada didn't play today. But Kazakhstan and Germany both losing in regulation. Couldn't have drawn it up any better for Canada. So Canada will play Finland tomorrow. Finland will be battling for top spot. And Canada will be looking to find a way to get into the quarterfinals after a tough start to this championship. Sweden trying to do the same thing here. Flipped up at center ice, and Nygren will play it back. A single point would move Sweden back into a tie with the Czech Republic. And then they would play for the extra point. Kempe will play it back into his own zone, or back to the blue line in the Russian zone. Wrist shot from Dolbach. Loose puck in front. Olofsson took a swipe at it, but was poked away from him.
Nice job by Prokhorov there to get his stick down at the right time.
And now 2 left in regulation. Frodin sends it around the boards. Dmitry Orlov back for Provorov. Provorov up the boards at center. Berdashov had the stick knocked out of his hand. Welcome everyone who is watching a big win for Norway. We have Sweden and Russia here in a 2-2 tie in the third period with a minute 25 left to go in regulation. Sweden in a must-win situation. Sweden led 1-0 after a first period power play goal by Frodin. Russia banged in 2 in 12 seconds in the third from Slepyshev and Barabanov. The newcomers Orlov and Tarasenko had assists on those goals. And then Sweden comes right back on a brilliant goal from Olofsson to tie it. And that's where we stand with under a minute to go in regulation. And this gets lifted up and out of play. Dennis Bayag, Dave Tomlinson, our TSN crew, our in-front productions crew with you here in Riga.
Made a scoring chance for Sweden to the front of the net. Tomarnis to Adrian Kempe. Shovels it into the goaltender. Kempe so far in this tournament, a goal and 4 points coming in. Got a power play assist in this game, the first period power play marker for Sweden. And this is the line that Bragan has added. Did some shuffling. He put Barabanov on the left side with Karnukov and then Tarasenko on the right. And they got the goal that put Russia on the board here in the third period.
At the line, Tomarnis will send this back down low. Hollander off the corner boards, gets wrapped up with Nikita Nesterov. Zadorov is on it. Lundestrom to the corner boards along with Zadorov. Sorensen swings it back into the corner. Zadorov, just not a lot of room for Russia to get going. Nygren throws it to the front of the net. Lundestrom got a stick on it. corralled in the corner by Sorensen. Sorensen trying to work it into the slot, tease it up, doesn't shoot it. Sorensen trying to find a lane to the net and thinks there should have been a penalty, and it's cleared to the boards, but back in front, another shot. Sorensen wires it, and he missed the net. What a final shift in regulation for Marcus Sorensen. Overtime next. Two goals on 4 shots in 12 seconds has been the story in this game for Russia. Sweden, a power play marker, 8:06 into the opening period. Frodin, and that's the way it stayed until the third period. 12:34, Slepyshev from Orlov. 12 seconds later, Barabanov from Tarasenko and Nestorov. The shots in the third period were 12-4 in favor of Sweden. So 27-24 Sweden over 3 periods. And Russia killed 2 of 3 on the penalty department. And Russia did not have a power play in this game.
Sweden had to be at their best coming into this game with eyes on a quarterfinal berth. Needed the full 3 points or this extra point, and then some things to break their way in some other games that are yet to be played tomorrow.
They don't have the tiebreaker against the Czech Republic. That's the game they were up 2-0 and lost 4-2.
They do have the tiebreaker against Switzerland, but Switzerland will play Great Britain tomorrow. The Swiss, you would think, would take the win there. So this becomes a game now, 3-on-3 in overtime, of who makes the smarter plays, who has more energy.
Sweden with 10 points, looking to get to 11. So 3-on-3 about to get going. And Tarasenko will start at center with Shvets Rogovoy along with Ivan Provorov. It is Olofsson along with Tomarnis, and way up in behind the play is Isaac Lundestrom. Olofsson, who had the tying goal, he'll drop it back. In across for Lundestrom. Tomarnis on for Olofsson. That face-off in overtime is so key. Tomarnis plays it back for Olofsson. Slepyshev keeps an eye on him. Tomarnis is on it. Tried to go to the backside, poked away. Olofsson stays on it though. Olofsson with Tarasenko after him. Sends it back for Lundestrom. And he'll take it outside and back to neutral ice. Play it all the way back to his netminder, Riederborn. And both teams will get a change in. Berdashov pressuring for a moment and then backs out. And now up at center and across the line for Kempe. And Kempe will circle all the way back into his own end.
As a forward with that puck, you want to try to pick on the other team's forward. And it was Orlov who was back, so Kempe retreated to the neutral zone.
Nygren has the puck. Lets it go through traffic. Simonov to save. Ricard Raquel is after it. Tarasenko ties him up, but Kempe gets it for Nygren. Russia has yet to get the puck in overtime. And we are closing in on 2 minutes in. And Pilot will send this on for Sorensen. And Sorensen will wind it up. Has Freeberg with him. Freeberg takes it to the outside, puts on the brakes. And Freeberg will take it back for Pilot. Sweden playing keep away right now, but did have the one chance. Sorensen. Kamenev now back out.
Testing the patience of Russia here. At this point, if you're wearing a red jersey, you just want to go after it and try to strip the puck. But if you allow an odd man rush the other way, you have the feeling that Sweden's going to be able to finish.
Halfway through overtime, and Russia has yet to gain control of the puck. Comes back for Lundestrom. He'll send it back for Olofsson. Olofsson trying to get away from Zub. Gets some help down low, grabbed off by Lundestrom. He'll leave for Pudas. Pudas will leave for Olofsson. Olofsson, the shot, save made. And Simonov is going to hang on to it, and now the face-off becomes important.
Now you want your best face-off guy out there for that. Slow change for both teams. During the intermission, Valeri Bragin was making all sorts of demonstrative moves with his hands to his players, coaching all the way through. Garpenloff is leaning back against the glass, letting his guys take in the moment.
And a huge face-off win by Karnukov.
And he'll change up.
Yep, heads to the bench. And out comes Grigorenko, but Grigorenko proceeds to turn it over. So they had control of it for about 7 seconds.
Grigorenko wanted to give it to Shlepyshev, who was coming up with speed.
Didn't work out that well. In across, Kempe. He'll drop it back, Raquel, toe drag, and then Raquel loses it. But then Provorov and Shlepyshev bump into each other. Here comes Grigorenko, in on goal, little deep Grigorenko, short side try, and Riederborn stays with him.
That puck wouldn't settle on his stick. He didn't have the ability to pull it across the front of the net, so quick fake and then stayed on that forehand.
So Grigorenko, with 2 goals in this tournament, had the winner late in the win over the Czech Republic, had the chance there. Couldn't handle it cleanly, and here comes Olofsson. In across the line, tried to get a shot away against the checking of Orlov. Orlov ties him up, and now Russia on it. Here comes Tarasenko. Berdashov trying to make it an odd man rush. Save made, Riederborn with the right pad.
Great hustle there, a pass leading right to the forehand.
Orlov takes it in behind the net. Orlov for Tarasenko. That shot got blocked. Voronkov, the youngster, comes out for Russia. Nygren's pass. Voronkov got a piece of it, but it comes back to Nygren. 25 seconds from a shootout. Raquel gets to the line, turns inside the blue line, gets forced back out. Kempe will play it cross ice. In across for Nygren, tees it up, save made Simonov. And the rebound, Barabanov will clear, and we are going to a shootout. Overtime solves nothing. Shootout next.
As a score is tied up for overtime, penalty shot shootout.
Sweden and Russia getting set for a shootout. The shots in overtime, 3-2 Sweden, despite the fact Sweden controlled the puck for the majority of that overtime. And we will go to a shootout, and Sweden will shoot first. So far, we haven't seen a change of netminders like we did for the earlier game, Czech Republic and Denmark. In case you missed it, 4 shooters in to a 5-round shootout. Denmark changes goaltenders, and then all of a sudden, Czech Republic changes goaltenders. So we'll see what happens as this one gets going, and Ricard Raquel will start the shootout for Sweden. In on Simonov. Raquel slows it down, gets back to the middle of the ice, delays, and simply ran out of room.
Puck flipped up on him when he was moving in. Wanted to settle, still wouldn't settle, and then just nothing but goaltender.
Captain Anton Slepyshev will start things off for Russia. Slepyshev in on Riederborn, goes to the forehand, and Riederborn stays with him and makes it look easy. Olofsson is next to go. Key goal that tied the game in the third period. Olofsson in on Simonov, and he wired it wide.
Had his head up coming in, got into shooting mode and looking over the glove. Doesn't get it high enough.
And the youngster Morozov will come out and shoot for Russia. Morozov in on Riederborn, slips it by him and scores.
That was smooth. The right-hand shot comes swinging to the left, gets it to the right, and before Riederborn can react, it's past his right leg.
Not a lot of reaction from Morozov. Doesn't matter what happens. Here comes Kempe. Adrian Kempe to try and tie this, fires and scores.
I think he watched the youngster right before him, same move. Except for he's a left-hand shot, moving across and underneath the right pad.
So next off the bench is Berdyshev. And he'll carry it in. Berdyshev in on Riederborn, scores! The quick release. And 3 rounds of a 5-round shootout complete. And Russia up by 1 in a game that Sweden has to win.
Exact same shot 3 times in a row.
Jonathan Pudas next up for Sweden. In on Simonov, and right along the ice and scores.
Sometimes just dial down the creativity and shoot the puck. 4 straight goals, all 5 hole.
Sergei Tolchinsky will come in for Russia. Slows it down, and a right pad save made by Riederborn.
I think slowing him down, threw him off. Tolchinsky, there's nothing there, the pad. And now it's Sorensen's turn.
2-2. And Sorensen slowly in on Simonov. Goes to the forehand and shot it wide.
Quick little shoulder fake coming in. And then to the forehand, it's off the bottom of his blade.
So the game is on the stick of Vladimir Tarasenko to win it for Russia. Tarasenko in on Riederborn. Tarasenko scores! Vladimir Tarasenko will put this to the top corner. Russia will win it, and Sweden's hopes of advancing to the quarterfinal are done.
Tarasenko, the patience, the poise, and the finish up high. Russia still only 1 regulation loss through 6 games. Sweden demoralized. They had the lead going into the 3rd. They fought back to tie, but couldn't find the finishing shootout goal to match Russia.
Your 4 teams in Group A will be Russia in first place right now. Switzerland and Slovakia are tied with 12 points each. And Sweden and the Czech Republic are tied with 10, but Czech Republic does have the tiebreaker, so the Czech Republic will advance to the quarterfinals.
They will give Player of the Game awards, and then they will give the top 3 players for Sweden.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best players of each team will be awarded with the official
So Sweden, the slow start, 0-2, put themselves in a tough spot.
Championship.
Came back and made a tournament out of it. Took Russia to a shootout.
Labākais Zviedrijas izlases spēlētājs.
Best player of Team Sweden.
37.
Players of the game will be named first. Isaac Lundestrom will be the player of the game for Sweden, as Johan Garpenlov saw his team battle back, and that has to be the positive for him and his team.
A couple of important injuries to them early.
Yep.
Best player of Team ROC.
58.
Is number 58, Anton Slevyshev.
So the captain, Anton Slepyshev, who tied the game in the third period, is the player of the game for Russia. And now we will have the players of the tournament, the 3 players for Sweden. And Russia, who's back into top spot.
Players are ready for the anthem, but they're going to give the
Ladies and
3-player award.
now the award of the 3 best players.
I think Tomarnis deserves to get one of these. He's
Yes.
one of the stronger defensemen throughout the tournament.
Adam Riederborn was terrific in goal,
Ice Hockey World Championship.
when it certainly looked like Victor Fost was going to be the goaltender of record for Sweden.
Zviedrijas izlases 3 labākie spēlētāji.
Best 3 players of Team Sweden.
Olsen had some important goals as the tournament went on.
Number 7, Henrik Tomarins.
Henrik Tomarnis,
Number 12, Max
Freeberg,
And number 39, Adam Reineborn.
and Adam Riederborn. First tournament for Riederborn, and he has made an impression, no doubt. So Russia will advance, and the tournament comes to an end for Sweden as Russia wins this in a shootout. After Sweden, despite dominating the overtime, could not find the game-winning goal. And a 3-2 shootout win, and now we will have the anthem of this tournament for ROC, which is Russia.
Vladimir, your team wins tonight in thanks to your shootout goal. What did you see on that play?
It's kind of a lot of pressure there, but it's first game. Important moment for us, to clinch the playoffs today. And I think give a lot of credit to Sweden team. They play really well. It was a really hard game. And, good thing we have another 2 points or 3 points. I don't know how much, but yeah, it was a hard game. And, I think we played together, but there's still a lot of areas to improve. So, we have time to talk and get ready for tomorrow.
We've seen your goalie put up some amazing performances in his very first World Hockey Championship. What can you say about his performance?
Yeah, he played really well. He played really well. He saved us tonight. He was fantastic on the shootouts, and just go in the locker room, give him a big hug. He's doing really well.
Vladimir, this is your first game, but I've seen you in the crowd watching a few things. What do you think is working with this team and the atmosphere right now?
I think the biggest part, we have a coach from World Juniors like 10, 12 years ago, and the biggest thing there was relationships inside the team. We truly believe if we have strong relationships, if we support each other, play for each other, we can make it happen. Gold, and yeah, that's why we're here, to win a gold. So we have a great team, and like I said, tomorrow, next game, we need to be prepared.
Thank you.
Thanks.
One more question, but you have to answer in Russian.
Okay.
How did that win feel, and what is the atmosphere like from your standpoint on the team right now?
В команде очень хорошая атмосфера, ребята помогают друг другу, все играют друг за друга. Очень приятно выиграть в первой игре после приезда. Очень важная победа. Сборная Швеции очень хорошо играла, поэтому это был тяжелый матч, и мы рады, что нам удалось выиграть.
Спасибо. Henrik, you guys gave yourself a chance with that win last night, and you were so close here. How disappointing does this feel?
Yeah, of course, you feel empty here. We did a really good game, I feel like. We had the lead long time into the third, and they scored a tie, and then they got the 2-1 right after the shift after, so it was tough. But in the end, we scored the 2-2 goal, and we still had a chance. And in the end, it's a really tough loss.
It's been a long season for a lot of you guys and a long week. Did fatigue play a factor here tonight?
I don't think so. I think we had a lot of energy after the wins, but I think we lost the tournament the first 2 games here. That's why we came up short here with points. Big disappointment the first 2 games in the group stage here, but yeah, it's just empty here.
When you reflect on the whole week, what are some of the positives you can take from this?
I think we've grown as a team into the tournament here. We had a rough start, but we came out really good the third game and kind of build on that. But we end up short here, so it's tough.
And then one in Swedish. Just how disappointing is this loss, but how can you build off of this?
Självklart jättetufft. Jag tycker att genom turneringen här visar vi att vi kan vara ett bra lag som spelar bra mot toppnationerna. Tyvärr så tappar vi det här gruppspelet i de första 2 matcherna där vi kammar 0 poäng och förstör hela resan här egentligen.
Tack.
Thank you.
Technology